guys, welcome back to the Six Side Calcio podcast. We're finally all back. All the boys are here. Joe, Francesco, Danny, we're all back. What's going on?
What's up, guys?
Ciao, guys. How's it going, guys?
Well, me, Joe, and Francesco are going to be in a different note. Obviously, Roma won, Juve won. Napoli had a disappointing result that we'll get into in a little bit. But quickly, just to recap, we had 2 match days since the last podcast we recorded. We had match day 15 on this past weekend and 16 as well. Start off the weekend quickly. I'm going to recap all the games, really what happened. Roma Sampdoria, 1-0 win for Roma. Big win. The pitch was a disaster, so I was happy to see the team come out there and get the win. It was a tough circumstances, but they did it and pulled it off, so that was good to see. Inter Crotone, put Crotone in a grave. 6-2, speaks for itself. Atalanta Sassuolo, I expected it to be a closer game, but 5-1 for Atalanta. Sassuolo got buried as well. Cagliari Napoli, first half was a little closer, but second half Napoli came out and destroyed Cagliari, so good for them, big win. Fiorentina Bologna 0-0. Fiorentina went from beating Juve 3-0 to drawing Bologna, can't score a goal anymore. Genoa Lazio 1-1. Disappointing result for Lazio there. But happy to see my boy Mattia Destro getting a goal, so happy to see that. And then we also had Parma Torino. Torino won 3-0. First win in 25 years for Torino, trying to avoid a relegation. So I can't remember the last time they won a game. They're celebrating like they won the Champions League, so that was good to see. Spezia Verona, another pitch that was a disaster, but Verona came out on top, 1-0. And we also had Benevento Milan, 2-0 win for Milan. Some people would say the penalty was controversial, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. And then we had Juve Udinese to top off that match day 15, and Juve won 4-1 against Udinese. Impressive display. Ronaldo was fantastic that game. I'm sure Joe, Francesco, you can agree with that. It was amazing, one of the better games played this year.
Yeah, probably the best game of the season for him.
Yeah, definitely. So fantastic there by Ronaldo. And now moving on to this match day, we'll start breaking it down here. Where should we start? I'll throw you guys a bone. Juve, Milan. Joe, you start off. Francesco, join in. Go ahead.
Okay, so you're going into this game was pretty much a must-win for Juve. We couldn't drop points to, especially Milan being first place. Going into the game, we had a couple COVID cases with Sandro and Quadrado. And we didn't know if the game was going to be played the day of because they still had to do the test. But thankfully, it was all good, and the game kept going on. Also, Milan had a couple players out, Zlatan, and a couple of their midfields. Tonali had a red card, so it was good in our favor for that Zlatan wasn't there, and Benacer and those type of players weren't available. I think we started the game off well. I think when you have to win the games, you need a win. I don't think no team in the world could really beat us when we're really 100% focused. But we have to be like this every game. We can only be like this only when the big games come around. I think Chiesa was the man of the match. I think, going to this game, I was worried about that right-hand side because Theo Hernandez, he's probably the best left back that we have in Serie A and probably one of the best in Europe, not only this season, but even last. And in Chiesa just demolished him all game. Chiesa was really played the best game I've seen him play in a Juve shirt since he arrived. And I've been saying it all season long that he should be starting on the right-hand side, and Quadrado should be on the bench or if we need him to be on the left back, left wing position, because when Chiesa plays on that right-hand side, I think that one-on-one, a lot of players can't really defend him when he's on his game. And he has a perfect link up with Dybala and Ronaldo. So that first goal was all Chiesa. He went by Hernandez, passed to Dybala. Dybala with a great flick. Dybala has been starting this 2021 off to a great start, and that's what Juve fans want to see from him. It was 1-0, and then they scored a controversial goal. I don't think it was a goal by any means. It was a clear foul on Rabiot down the field, and they went on to score, and the referee didn't even have the courtesy to check the VAR. So I don't know what was going on there. It should have been reviewed, and it should have been called back. But the calls haven't been really going our way this year. But we had to still come out in the second half and produce. Chiesa again scored a fantastic goal. Pass from Dybala right to Chiesa. It went by Hernandez again, and he went to the bottom left corner. 2 goals in probably the biggest game of the season so far, and Chiesa really left me speechless after that goal. It was a wonderful goal, obviously because Juve has had so many bad signings of wingers in the past, of Bernardeschi's to Douglas Costa's, all these guys that they bring in and they don't really get the job done. And Chiesa coming from Fiorentina and trying to adapt to a new system, a new coach, and he's been phenomenal this season for us. Then we made some substitutions. McKennie came on and he scored from a brilliant play by Kulusevski. And after that, it was all wrapped up. Big 3 points from Juve. We're not out of the title race yet. There's still lots of time in the season for not only us, but for any team. Every team has more than 15 games still to play, and the league is far from over. We're still 7 points back, but with a game in hand. So, anything's possible from now. We just need to get some of these key players back, like Moratas, the Sandros, and try to see what we could buy in January. But for now, it's a big win from Juve, a big statement, and we are showing the league that we're still here.
Yeah, I agree with Joel. This is a big game. Juve had to come in and win. And like Joel said, when Juve face a big opponent, a tougher team, a team that actually has the same desire to win just like Juve, we tend to outperform them and show them who the real team is, unless it's a Champions League final, of course. But with that said, we came in, we were putting on the pressure. The beginning scared me a bit. Bentancur and Ramsey were horrible. I think Ramsey forgot that he wears black and white now, and he stops wearing the red jersey of Arsenal because he kept playing passes to Milan every play he had. I think in terms of Dybala's performance, it was fantastic. I'm glad that assist went through, but the acrobatics have to stop. I say it every week. I think Enzo said earlier that Pirlo has no system. Every time he watches Pirlo's Juve has no system. I think the system we have is 2002 Brazil national team. We're just doing flicks and tricks for fun. And it's good if it works, but when it doesn't work, we saw what happens when Bentancur tried doing a flick and it sent Milan on a breakaway. I think Chiesa is man of the match, like Joe said, but I think someone that no one's really talking about that needs to get credit is Wojciech Szczesny. I think if it wasn't for him, Milan would have scored so much goals. He really had to stop a lot of breakaways and a lot of clear-cut chances because of errors from De Ligt, Bonucci, Danilo, Bentancur, Ramsey. There was a lot of mistakes that we need to polish up. It was a great win. We outperformed Milan, but Milan were in the game. It wasn't like we just thrashed them like Udinese. We have to really sharpen our game, still sharpen our tools, and hopefully Pirlo gets a brain and plays Dybala as the triquista where Ramsey plays. I think he'd be much better there behind Morata and Ronaldo, with Chiesa on one side and Cuadrado on the other. Or if we play 4 in the back of Cuadrado right back and Chiesa in front of him, I think that would work. But other than that, we had a fantastic game. In terms of the Milan goal, I don't think it was a goal. There was a foul on Rabiot that wasn't called. But regardless, Danilo was out of position and gave Leal like 10 years to make a perfect pass. It's not hard when the right back's playing right center mid and playing right cam. So I think we got to sharpen up. I think the defenders need to realize with all these results, we've been winning 3-1, 4-1, 5-0. We gotta make sure the defense gets humbled and know that they can't be playing cam and striker. But there was one play Bonucci was playing right wing. It was making me nervous. So I think the defense need to get humbled a little bit and make sure they stay focused and the attackers keep scoring the goals. But other than that, it was a great performance. Looking forward to the next game in Sassuolo. We gotta keep clawing our way back until we're the champions. Focus on the Supercoppa now, Coppa Italia, Champions League. We gotta keep going. It looks like Enzo and Danny are speechless after my amazing speech.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was picking something up. But, yeah, well said.
Picking up the loss to Juve when we face you next.
And we all know what happened last time. You barely got out of there alive. Let's be honest here.
Yeah, but now we're a different team, Enzo.
Yeah, for sure. We'll see. A couple of weeks, we'll see. Well, yeah, well said. Juve, it's a little bit surprising. Obviously, Milan had a lot of guys out, so it wasn't too surprising. I saw it happening, but I really expected a draw, to be honest, in that match. Juve, I believe they had Cuadrado and Alexandro out, if I'm correct.
And Morata.
And Morata. And Milan, I think, had Ibra, Benacer, Tonali, which in my opinion, Tonali's not been a loss. But I think Benacer and Ibra and Salesmakers are a huge loss for Milan. They are a big part of what they do. So it was hard to see them gone. They did look very different. Obviously, Rebic too. He's also an important piece because with Ibra out, Rebic is really the one you look to. Him and Leao will probably be the only ones really going forward that will cause problems with Çalhanoğlu also supporting from behind. But yeah, Juve were the better team. They outplayed Milan. And Chiesa, I know Francesco always say he doesn't step up in big games, and I agree with that, but he did, and he stepped up in a big way. So
let's hope he continues.
And you got to credit Chiesa. Hopefully in the Euros we see that too. That'll be nice. And yeah, credit to Juve. Big win for them, and they'll be looking to make a push after a disappointing start to the year. But now it looks like they'll be looking forward because big win against Udinese. Obviously, it's Udinese, but 4 goals is still not easy to score in the Serie A. So 4-1 against them, 3-1 against Milan. So credit to Juve. But now moving on here. I was gonna say Napoli, Danny. We'll give you some more time. We'll talk about Inter.
Oh, don't worry, it's gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I was about to toss it to you, but I was like, you know what, we'll give you some time. Yes, Samp Inter. It was surprising, I guess. And like we said, I think, Dan, did you say Lukaku was your most valuable player too?
Yeah, I had that too.
I heard, did you say him too, I believe? I think you said him too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we all said it. And, well, I think we can all agree here that in this match we really justified our statement because Lukaku did not play until, I think, the 63rd minute mark. And Inter without Lukaku are terrible. I just can't get over it. Defensively.
That's why.
Yeah, for Lautaro are a good friend, so. You love Lautaro.
Old married couple.
But yeah, we saw, this is why we chose him for MVP. Clearly, without Lukaku, Inter isn't the same team at all. You saw at the beginning of the year when he didn't play for a certain stretch. He didn't play until the 63rd minute in the last match against Sampdoria. And it really showed why they struggled because Inter were not able to score at all, really. I think they scored like 2 minutes after they came on, I'm pretty sure. So, it's kind of funny how it works out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, De Vrij scored a goal for him. But yeah, Lukaku's very vital to the way Inter play. But let's give credit to Ranieri and Sampdoria. Against the Roma, I can see why it's very frustrating to play Sampdoria. They play 11 men back, but it's the way they do it. It's just so hard to score and so infuriating. And I can only imagine how difficult it is after they go up. So yeah, credit to Ranieri. 2-1 win. They didn't even just draw. They won the match, which surprised me.
That's big points for Juve right there.
Yeah, for Juve.
Competition.
So Inter is disappointing because, especially because Milan lost. They could have made some big points there going forward, but unfortunately, well, I don't really care to be honest, but for Inter fans, unfortunately, they dropped points there in the quest to win the scudetto. A lot of people were picking them, to be honest. So
let them lose hope now because they're never gonna win it. Let them be mad now, rather than the last day of the match day when they thought they could win the scudetto.
Francesco's like a dictator on this podcast. The guy's telling everyone their future.
I just find it funny how both players who scored for Sampdoria were Inter players.
Play for Inter, yeah. Candreva and Keita Balde.
Candreva is still on loan. Is on loan from Inter. And Keita Balde was a former.
Keita Balde played a good game.
Yeah, he did. He was good.
Yeah.
Candreva was alright. He scored, but Keita Balde, yeah, Joey.
I feel like he plays the same way every game. Like it's nothing like special, but when he gets the assist or gets the goal, then that's when people talk about him. I feel like he's just consistent every game. It's either it just all depends if he gets an assist or a goal that we talk about.
Yeah. I just want to ask you guys one by one. Do you think Inter can still win the Scudetto? I know it's only one loss, but
no.
Do you think? No. I guess Francesco's going first. Yeah, Francesco, what do you think? Do you think it's like this result, or because Juve's going to pick up steam, or a little bit of both?
Inter never had a chance to begin with. Inter do this every year. They always have a nice, good string run of games. They sign player X, player Y, whoever they sign. They have Conte as a manager. You know, they on paper they look like they're contenders for the Scudetto. And then, I say this about every team, there's very little teams that have a winning mentality. It's like Napoli in 2017. They were celebrating like they won the scudetto before the scudetto was over, and it bit them in the ass. Inter do it, Milan do it, every team does it. Lazio did it last year, every team does it. They celebrate too early, they party. You have Arturo Vidal on the team. There's obviously tension between Nangolan and Conte. Nangolan had the statements about Conte saying, you didn't give me time, you didn't trust me. And when Conte is a very, he is the dictator. If he doesn't like a player for whatever reason, it could be, Nangolan, I don't like your haircut, you're on the bench. If you don't like the player, you're not playing the player, regardless of the quality. I think Nangolan would be great at Inter, but Conte didn't give him the chance. Now he's going to get shipped back to home to Cagliari, and it is what it is. But Inter don't have that winning mentality. They don't have the Conte likes to make the excuse they don't have enough money. Well, they have the Chinese investors, and they still don't have enough money. But they don't have the quality of the depth of the team to go off. Handanovic is overrated. Half their team is overrated. It's all a bunch of misfits. Arturo Vidal, the Juve misfit. They have a bunch of Manchester United misfits, Premier League misfits. It's a team of misfits. And when a team of misfits go, they're hungry for a competition, but the only thing they're ever going to win is miraculously probably the Europa League. And I don't even see them winning that because they had their chance last year. But other than that, I don't think I think they'll finish maybe top 5, top 4, but nowhere near the Scudetto.
Yeah, these Inter fans are gonna eat you alive, bro. What the?
Yeah. That can eat me alive.
Jesus
The only thing they're living by is that 2010 treble. That'll never come again in their history.
Well, okay then. Well, that was a strong take by Francesco there. You went from complaining about the Fiorentina game going off in the team to celebrating the Champions League, basically.
I agree with Francesco to a certain. I think that they're still obviously going to be there. They're only 1 point behind Milan. It's not like they're 20 points behind or anything. But when he said about Nangolan, I think Nangolan could have been a great fit for Inter. Even Eriksson, these are quality players that could probably start on any team in Serie A. Especially, Nangolan a couple of years ago, we were saying it was probably one of the top 10 midfielders in the world. So I think that in that aspect, I think he's right. But, I think they're still going to be there for the Serie A. I think they have a better all-around team than Milan do. As you saw last night, Milan had no bench at all. They brought in Maldini. They thought he was Ronaldinho. Came on, and for now, he did nothing. But yeah, I think Inter, so they're obviously still going to be in the title Serie A talk. And but when he said about Nangolan and Eriksson, these are quality players that to win a championship is what you need. You need these big guys that could come on and change a game. And if Inter's selling them in January, it makes no sense from my view. Yeah, they're selling their players instead of bringing in more players to try to compete. But even when he said about Europa League, Francesco, they're not in Europa League this season.
I forgot. Oh, sorry, Inter fans. I forgot. You were so shit. You got out of the Champions League and the Europa League.
Yeah. So not even Europa League. So that's maybe why they're selling these players, because they probably want to just focus on Serie A with these little players that they have, this little group that they have.
Francesco's living his life right now. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's gonna make my rant look like a peaceful treaty.
Yeah. So obviously Francesco's not an Inter fan, but
we didn't know, bro.
But yeah, I still think that Inter are in the top to win the Serie A this year.
Yeah, I agree. Before I throw it to Dan, I think it's still possible. They're only 1 point behind. I think it's kind of tough to say this loss is the reason why they're not going to win. Obviously, Juve, every team's had a bad game so far. And obviously, Napoli, Spezia, we're going to talk about that soon. Juve, Fiorentina, Crotone, Benevento, 3 tough games for them. Us, every big team seems to smash us into pieces. And Sassuolo is never really going to win, to be honest. Am I forgetting someone? Lazio, they're falling down the table every week.
Atalanta.
Atalanta, they're just too inconsistent. They'll be a good team.
So.
Yeah, I think every team has a loss or a couple of matches like this every year. It's normal. It's going to happen. It's a Serie A. I was talking before when the bottom 7 teams around there were all just complete garbage and wouldn't even put up a fight. Now we have a Fiorentina can't score a goal against Lecce, and And Serie B, if they played right now, scored 3 goals against Juve, and then yeah, it's just a mess. You never know, but these these lower bottom teams are always tougher than the top teams at times. So you gotta make sure you don't overlook them. And I feel Conte resting Lukaku was him overlooking them. I know he tried resting Lukaku for Sunday against Roma, but I don't know. I think I should have brought him on earlier. Number 1, and number 2, I thought it's not an easy team to score against. I'm sure Conte looked at the Roma game. And he would have, if he did, I'm pretty sure he would have started Lukaku, because Samp just parked the bus every match, in which, you gotta do what you gotta do to get points, but still, it's not an easy game to win, and you should have never overlooked it. But Dan, do you think Inter is, finished, or still got a long way to go?
I still think Inter can, they're only a point back, so I don't know how people can consider them finished, quote unquote finished, when they're a point back. And it helped too that Milan lost, so that's like, it gives a little boost to, Inter. But I feel like the top 4 teams, those are going to be the top 4 teams that are going to compete for the scudetto this year. I don't see Napoli coming back anytime soon. Just like, especially the way we've been playing as of late, I just don't see it at all. I'm not a big fan of the way we've been playing, even though we did get a good win against Cagliari. You have to carry that momentum over, to the next game. And I don't see Sassuolo being maybe top 6, maybe top 7, but I don't see them being in the top 5 position by the time the end of the season comes. I just think Inter have some good quality players on the team. Like Lukaku can change a game. Barella is a great midfielder. They got a good defense, with Bastoni, Skriniar, and De Vrij. It just all depends on their mentality. If they can get that mentality, to continue winning these games. They got to pick up steam soon, because Juve are coming up there, Roma are up there, Milan are top of the league, and it seems like, who knows if this loss can affect them, because if it can, then that opens up opportunities for a team like Inter, Juve, even Roma to snatch up that first place. It's still a long season. We're only in January. The season doesn't end until May. So by the time mid-April comes, late April, then you can consider teams finished or not. But as of right now, I still think it's a long marathon and it's not a sprint. And by the end of the year, I feel like the top 4 teams are going to be the top 4 teams to end the season as well.
Yeah, well said, Dan. And I use the word finish because obviously on Twitter, people like to overreact on that app. So a lot of people are saying they're finished, which obviously I think we all disagreed with, except for Chet. But
They're finished before they even started. I think Danny said it best. He listed all those players. You know what they all have in common? No, one of those players won a major trophy in their careers. Maybe Lukaku with that Europa League, you count that. But no, one of those players have won a major trophy. No one has experienced the feeling of winning, and they never will.
Francesco I gotta put a leash on Francesco for now and bring up Inter. Jesus. Anytime I mention Francesco and Inter in the same sentence, this guy springs out of his seat. But yeah, I guess that's enough of the Inter talk before Inter fans start hitting up Francesco's personal account on Instagram. So,
I'm happy Inter fans.
Yeah, here we go. Francesco wants all the smoke right now.
Well, compared to that, these 18-36.
Quickly, I'm going to go over some matches that happened. I'm not going to really touch on too much. Torino-Verona 1-1 draw. Torino now looking better. They got that draw against Napoli, which is surprising. They beat, who was it again? I remember. Was it Parma? I'm pretty sure it was Parma. They beat 3-0.
Yeah.
They drew Verona. Sassuolo, they avoided a disappointing result, and they came back and got a huge win against Genoa. Raspadori saving the day. So that was big for Sassuolo. Lazio beating Fiorentina. Fiorentina almost made a late comeback, but Lazio managed to hold off. They needed those points because lately Lazio's been not too good. We'll say that. Bologna-Udinese 2-2 draw. Nothing much really to say there. It was actually a pretty good game, I heard, from what I was told. Arslan with the scoring in the 90th minute to tie it up for Bologna, so that was good to see. And yeah, it was a good match overall. Oh, why did I start about that? I meant to say Udinese, not Bologna. Arslan scoring for Udinese, my bad. But yeah, it was a good match day. We're gonna end it off now here with Danny and myself talking about both Roma and Napoli. So, by the way, also Benevento beat Cagliari 2-1. Benevento, round of applause, boys.
Yeah.
We They
They
had
have, I think,
21 points, I think, in a 17-18 season. Now they
yeah,
have 21 points right now. So
yeah.
congrats
Good
to them.
job to people in Taki. Guy
Yeah.
doing well with that team, and I think they're linked with a few players that can even help them get better. So who knows if they could
Should bring in
potentially
Mandzukic.
finish like top 15, like top maybe
Yeah, they're
top
top 10
like,
right now, so they're
yeah.
doing well.
Good
You
job
know,
for them.
another team having a great season.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Spezia.
Which I will save that one for maybe the
Yeah,
final.
it's okay. Gotcha. You guys lost to Crotone there, so I'm going to be talking. Or tied to them, yeah. So
It's okay. It's okay, Dan.
we all have those results.
All right. Well,
We'll
we'll
see.
get into that one. I think Francesco more excited for the Napoli thing than the Juve against Milan. So, yeah, we also had Atalanta murdering Parma. Parma lost 2 games now in a row, 3-0. So disappointing for them. Atalanta, what can you say? Gasperini's got a system that works, and seems like whoever plays in what position, same outcome. So, good job to Atalanta as well. Now, Roma, Crotone. Honestly, not much to say. Pretty standard. We played well. Happy with the team's performance. Fonseca, we had a late scare that he might have COVID because Thiago Pinto, our new sporting director, came in and he had COVID, and then it was negative, and then I guess he wasn't negative, and he met the whole team. So we all thought the whole team would be positive, and then they weren't because they got tested, and then everyone thought Fonseca was positive, and then at midnight he took a COVID test, tested negative, and then flew over to, not flew, but took the bus over to Crotone, and then it was a big mess, but good to see we're all good. He was there, played well. Mayoral, fantastic. I really like him off the bench. I feel like he has similar qualities to Dzeko at times, but I feel like he's more of a poacher than Dzeko is, which I like because Dzeko kind of plays deeper and creates for his teammates, while Mayoral is more in the area looking to score, similar to an Icardi type. So I like Mayoral. Whenever he plays, he doesn't play too bad. People are hard on him sometimes. He'll play 5 minutes and not score, and people will say, "Oh, why do we get this guy? What should I expect him to do when we're up 4-1 and he's playing 5 minutes at the end of a game?" So, yeah, congrats to him. Scored a banger from far out. So happy to see that. Mkhitaryan, 1 goal, 1 assist. He's now leading the Serie A in assists with 7. He also has 8 goals under his belt. So he's been having a fantastic season. Happy to see that. I think he has 15 points now in 16 games or something like that. So really happy to see him. He's an older player and he's played I think he played every game basically, and almost 90 minutes every game. So got to give him credit there. He's been a workhorse for us, and we're thankful to have him part of the team. Crotone, not much to say about them. They just didn't do much, to be honest. They scored off a corner. It was a nice header, to give him credit, but nothing much else to say about that. Roger Ibanez, another world-class performance. He came in huge. Paul Lopez had 2 good games in a row now, so happy to see that. Even though him and Mancini almost gave me a heart attack there for a second, but thankfully it worked out. But yeah, moving on from Roma now, because against Crotone, not much else to say. We play Inter this weekend, good match. Looking forward to it. Let's see if Fonseca can break the stigma of not being able to beat the big teams. I think we're 3-17 or something against big teams, or something crazy like that. So not good, not a good record at all. So we'll see what we do against Inter. I'm not the most confident, obviously, going into it, judging off the Napoli game and the Atalanta game. The Juve game, I was happy with the performance. I feel like we're clearly the better team. Against Milan, I was happy we found a way to get a draw. So those are 2 good ones. But other than that, it's been terrible against the bigger teams. Now, Danny.
It's time, Danny.
Yeah, I don't even know where to start. I'm just gonna say this straight up. It was an absolute fucking embarrassment yesterday. I'll start off by saying that. I was absolutely embarrassed by the end of the match. We started off so good. Okay, the Insigne chance, whatever. You missed 1 chance, okay. But that chance, it's like, once Insigne missed that chance, the Malocchio came in and gave everyone playing for Napoli bad luck. And when you have a team with a talent like Insigne, Lozano, Politano, and Zielinski up front against Spezia, who was causing trouble. They were causing them trouble the whole game. Spezia's defense didn't look good at all. And you can only concede and you only score 1 goal. It's absolutely embarrassing, man. And I'm gonna give Spezia the credit that they deserve. They hung in there. They said to Napoli, "We're gonna kick your ass," and they ended up kicking our ass after. Napoli dominated the whole game, and you get 29 shots just 29 shots in the game, which is, first of all, unbelievable to see that in a soccer game, especially in the Serie A where we all know it's more defensive, and to only get one goal. Napoli could have been up 5-0 in the first 20 minutes, but no. Our team's composure and our team's finishing went out the door, went out to San Paulo. It wasn't there, and it's embarrassing as a fan because these are games that it boosts your confidence. Coming off a 4-1 win against Cagliari, and then to playing Spezia, where you think, okay, this could be a game that we could win easily 2-3-0. No, you lose 2-1 after getting 29 shots. And I'm not going to blame Gattuso at all, because it's not Gattuso's fault. These guys can't finish if their life effing depended on it last night. And a lot of people are saying, oh, maybe it's Gattuso's tactics. Gattuso did not do anything wrong. The only thing I could probably potentially blame is for him not making substitutions earlier, because we brought in Petagna in the 56th minute or like the 53rd minute or something like that early in the second half. He got a goal a few minutes later off a beautiful pass by Di Lorenzo. But then you get guys like Fabio Ruiz. He turns like a tow truck half the time, and I feel like as a Napoli fan, I know a lot of people can agree with me with this. I think it's time we move on from him. He's not the player that we all thought he was going to be. He's not that Jorginho type player that when we sold Jorginho and bought him, he's not it. And the kid shows quality sometimes, but most of the time he turns like a tow truck, and he's really slow with the ball. He does stupid passes. He can't play the CDM role. He can't play that role beside Bakayoko, who I thought who played really good yesterday as well. And then you get guys like Insigne missing chances. Llorente coming in, that guy, that's another guy he should be sold to, because when he came in, the team looked lost. Half the time he was looking to hold up the play and let a guy like Alma shoot, who also had a poor game as well. He should have scored that open net. But Llorente, you're a striker, man. You lived, I don't know how many goals you had in your career. I think I want to say over maybe 200, 250, maybe 300. Why are you trying to hold it up? Just turn and shoot. It's not the time to make fancy. And that's what I feel like Napoli were trying to do. They were trying to get those easy FIFA goals that you sweat through, score. Just shoot the ball, man. When you're in the box and you have the chance to shoot it. Because good things happen when you put the ball on the net. And it showed, because Di Lorenzo did a beautiful ball, hard, low ball, Petagna flicked it, and it went in. And it's just embarrassing as a fan to watch a team get 29 shots and only score one goal and end up losing the match after. And I'm going to give Spezia the credit that they deserve as well. Pobega, the guy's actually a good player, man. Milan have a good player in him. And the striker, Nizola? Guy's a good player. Yeah. He's a good player for a team like Spezia. And I give them a lot of credit. They came into the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona. They took it to us. And Napoli, they gotta regroup badly, because they have it's not an easy match too against Udinese. That team can easily hurt us. And I feel like that game's gonna be closer than what a lot of fans expect, because they have good quality players. And if you don't score your chances against Udinese, they're gonna hurt you, because DePaul's a great player. Pereira is playing, really good. They got guys like Lasagna that can hurt you as well. So Napoli, they gotta regroup. They gotta find their mojo back, because the last few games, they've been terrible. Terrible. I think Napoli have, in the last, I want to say 5 games, against the last 5 games, they have 4 points. That's not good if you're a team that's going to contend for the scudetto, which I feel like we can, because we have the talent and we have the players to contend. And I want to get this off my chest too. Mauro Rui, please pack your bags and get out. Or even just sit on the bench. Every time this guy crosses the ball in the box, it ends up out for a throw-in, or it doesn't end in the box. And I'm not going to say, oh, Napoli should never play Lozano striker ever again. I feel like, and Petagna is going to be is a good bench player, but he should never start ever again for Napoli. He's a good player to bring off the bench, because he brings that energy, and he brings height too, that teams in the 60th minute, maybe early second half to like the end of the game, they don't want to defend because they're tired. And I didn't mind the attack at all. Like the paper wise, I go, okay, Lozano up top, he could cause his team trouble because he's got speed, he's a great dribbler with the ball, and he's And I thought he could finish too sometimes. He's got 7 goals. He couldn't finish yesterday. Insigne too. But I feel like Napoli need guys like Mertens, Koulibaly, and Osimhen to come back because they're bigger losses than what like a lot of people think. Mertens, he's up there in age, but that guy can score. Koulibaly is a great leader in the back, and he's just a workhorse the whole game. He doesn't give up, and he's one of the best center backs in the world and probably the best center back in the league. So right there, it's a big loss. And Napoli, if they want to be contenders for the scudetto this year, which we're not right now, the way we've been playing, we're not. We'll be lucky to finish top 4, maybe 5th this year. And I'm not giving up on my team. I'm not going to say, oh, I hate this team, or they should be relegated forever. I'm not saying that at all because that's not. We all know they should be relegated. They're not a team that should be in the relegation zone. There's just a lot of fans who are furious with the result, and when you're mad about a certain result, you say some stuff that you regret the next day. But this team's not a scudetto contender team. As of right now, I'm saying it right now, we should be aiming top 4 unless Napoli can bring in a left back, bring in a guy like Zaccagni, or maybe even, God forbid, hopefully Papu, and also get someone like a CDM. Sell Ruiz and get like a guy kind of like I would say just like an example, like a Marcus Llorente to come in and play a CDM role with Bakayoko. Because on paper, Napoli have probably one of the best midfielders in Italy. But when they play, they look lost. And I'm going to give Zielinski a lot of credit. I feel like he's the guy that he can help that midfield become. He's our best midfielder this year, hands down. Zielinski's been our best midfielder this year. And this guy, he's been taking the next step, and he's shutting me up because I wasn't a big fan of him. But as of late, he's a great player. And I feel like Napoli need a new left back because I can't stand Rui. I can't stand him no more. And I just don't get why Goulam doesn't play, because Goulam's a guy, when this guy is healthy, he could easily be one of the best left backs in Italy. The guy could cross, guy's got speed, the guy can defend, and he's a left back you don't want to, he's like a Teo Hernandez type, but that could defend. And from now on, a lot of Napoli fans might disagree with this. I want to see Romani play. I do not want to see Maximovic. I want to see Romani play because I feel like Romani will be better than Maximovic, and this guy proves he can defend in the Serie A. He was Hellas Verona's probably maybe best defender last year behind Kubula. Maybe him and Kubula were neck and neck for best defender on that team. So I want to see changes made in January. I want to see a left back come in. I want to see maybe a Zaccagni or Papu come in. And I'm not going to say, oh, we need a striker, because we have guys like Battaglia that can score off the bench. Osimhen, when this guy's healthy, he's going to be our starter. We have Mertens as well. I just want to see guys who can help create plays, and also maybe a CDM, a new CDM. Sell Ruiz and bring in a guy like a Llorente or something to help. But as of right now, I'm not giving up on my team. I'm not saying we're finished right now, but just the way we've been playing as a late, we shouldn't be talking about finishing first. We should just be focusing on finishing top 4, and then maybe in the summer make changes, and then we'll see what the changes that are made potentially if we make it. Then we can see. But as of right now, we're just a top 4 side. We shouldn't be talking about potentially winning the scudetto, because unless Napoli go on a big tear and they they make changes or something, or just go on a big massive run, and we have teams like Juve, Inter, Roma, and Milan drop points, and we're there at the end of the year, we're not a scudetto contender. We're just a top 4 team, and a lot of changes should be made soon. So hopefully that happens, and hopefully, just saying this as of right now to conclude, we pick up our pants, we keep our heads up high, and we destroy Udinese, or even just win. Get a nice 2-0 win against Udinese. Get back on the right track, because we have big games coming up. And if we continue to play like this, those games are just a wash, and I'm not going to be looking forward to it.
Yeah, well said. I feel like we all had our little licks in this podcast talking about our teams here. Danny, we can feel your frustration coming out of the mic.
Yeah, I'm tired now.
Well, Dan, I hope to wake you up. Unfortunately, you were saying you want a left back, you want a midfielder. I don't think that's possible. After I watched that game, you guys can't even upkeep your grass in the stadium. Poor Ospina was standing in a mud pile. I think
doesn't help. It doesn't help. There was a storm in Napoli for like the last few days, so you can't just say, oh, the pitches. You have to take into consideration it's a downpour. It was a storm. There was buildings. There was floods in the streets of Napoli prior to the game, so it's not our fault. It started raining.
But it's okay because Francesco predictions, always comes true. I said it every year. It's Napoli's annual slump, and we'll see if they bounce back against Udinese or continue the slump.
Francesco loves throwing little shots in there all the time. Well, guys, anything else to say before we wrap it up? Anyone want to jump in?
I think I've said enough.
Yeah.
Well, I already have the Napoli minute.
I can go on for days, but I just don't want to make this like a 2-hour podcast.
Joe, how about you? Anything else? You good?
From Napoli, I agree with Dan that they have to get a new left back. I think Mario Rui has been there for too long now. I think that they have to get someone new in. But I also think that Napoli have too many. They have the Insignes and Mertens that, they're practically almost the same player. Then you got Patania, Llorente, the two big guys that you could cross the ball in and something could happen. The midfield, Zielinski and, Ruiz, they're not really the same player, but, one game they go off, one game they don't. So, they have to really do like not a rebuild, but, they have to start looking at young players, bring them in. Making them play more. They can't always keep playing the same system, the same players every game. One game give Rui a chance, the other game bring in a young left back that could get game time. A center back instead of doing Manolas and Maxinovic and Koulibaly every game, do maybe bring in that young guy. They brought that young guy from Hellas Verona. And since he's been at Napoli, I've never seen him play a game.
Me neither. I'm surprised.
They have to start, taking chances and trusting these new players that they bring in, these young players, and it's like Juve with the signings we made. We're not talking about Chiesa because he was already a proven scorer and a player for Fiorentina, but for Weston McKennie, we gave him time. We started him. We bought him right away. People said that it was the wrong move signing him because we just bought him because he was American. But the first game he was a starter in front instead of Bentancur and Ramsey and players that were there. Seasons before, we gave him a chance, and now a couple months later, he's probably our best midfielder that we have. So you have to give players a chance to play, and I think that's what Napoli has to do too.
Yeah, no, I just feel like once we couldn't replace the likes of Hamsik and Jorginho properly, and I know this is it sounds bad, but I feel like once Hamsik left and once Jorginho even left, I feel like Napoli just went down because those were two key players that played with their hearts, that played for the badge. And I feel like a few of these players on this team, I'm not going to mention who, but a few of these players are just going to play for the contract. They're just playing for money. And it's just sad because a lot of these players that played in the past, like Hamsik and stuff, this guy's been here through the thick and thin, and he would die for Napoli. And just the way we let him leave like that, I just feel like once he left, our team started declining a little bit, and we're not the same team that we were 2-3 years ago. And I feel like Gattuso's trying to get Napoli back to that pedestal where they were, like finishing top 2, where they were exciting to watch. But I just feel like I feel like a lot of these players are just like they don't have it in them to have that mentality to be a winner. And I feel like the only players on this team that could potentially have that mentality to win would be Insigne, Mertens, and Koulibaly. I don't see it in the rest of the guys, but I see it in those 3 guys that you could tell that they want this team to do well. The rest of the players, when the team loses, they're whatever. But you could tell when that, like those guys are on the field, like Insigne, Koulibaly, and Mertens, when they're pissed off that something's not going right, you could tell they're trying to do what's best for the team and not what's best for themselves. So hopefully Gattuso teaches these guys at the end of the day, it's not about who's got the most goals in the league, who's got the most assists, who's making the most money. It's about doing what's best for the team and what's best for the city. Because these Napoli fans, they can all agree. These Napoli fans on Twitter, in Napoli around the world, they will die for their team. And they want to see the players die for that team as well. So if you're not doing that, then you're not a big fan favorite in the team and around, like you can say, maybe around the fans. So I just feel like Napoli, they need to change their mentality and they need to have a better mentality. Go in there and don't even say, oh, let's play for us, play for the badge, play for the city. Because these guys, the Napoli suffered a lot over the past few years. And without, like, they always look towards soccer to not distract, but not take away, like, just to distract them away from what's going on in the world.
Take their mind off it.
Yeah, take their mind off of what's going on. And the fan base, yes, we all may not have the same opinions all have the same opinions, but we all are one big community and we would all die for each other. Like, we would die for Napoli and we all want what's best for Napoli. And I hopefully this was just a game that, okay, it's just an unlucky game, which every club has. But it seems like when Napoli have one unlucky game, it carries over to 2, to 3, to 4.
The ankle slump.
So hopefully, yeah, everyone, you guys have a slump too in Champions League. You guys can't win anything. So there's your slump. We all have slumps.
Yeah, we're there.
Yeah, you guys could be there, but at the end of the day, there's only one winner. No one remembers the losers. No one remembers the finals. They just remember who won the finals. And hopefully, against Udinese, Napoli can get back on the right track and head towards finishing top 4. And hopefully they surprise me and shut me up and finishing even top 3. So let's hope I just hope for the best to end 2021 to end the season. And if not, then there's going to be a lot of changes happening in the summer.
Do you see, I'm not going to say it's going to continue like this, but, just say Napoli ends the season off with 8, even 9 losses to the season. They finish again out of the Champions League position.
Yeah.
Do you think that they'll fire your Gattuso?
No.
And do you think that maybe a guy like, I'm not going to say he's going to come back, but like maybe a guy like Sadi or Allegri could come in and maybe change it around for you guys?
I think because I don't know about maybe top 4. If Napoli finish top 4, I can see Gattuso staying another year or so. But if they say they have a disaster year, they don't even say they finish 6th, but with no Coppa Italia, no Super Cup, no trophies this year, I can see Gattuso getting fired. But at the end of the day, for me, I don't feel like Gattuso did anything wrong for this match. There's a few times, he's been outcoached, but that's every coach gets outcoached at one point. But I think at the end of the day, if Napoli don't play like they can, because when Napoli play like they can beat anyone. I'm convinced don't beat anyone because that's the way we are. When Napoli are crap, they're crap. And I think at the end of the year, if Napoli don't do anything special, like win the Europa League, win the Coppa Italia, or even win the Super Cup. I think the Super Cup and Coppa Italia, he has to win for him to remain. But if he doesn't win anything this year and we finish, say, 6th, I don't see him coming back next season, which is sad because I love Gattuso as a coach. I love him as a player. I love his passion. I love how he takes blame for everything. Napoli could coach the perfect game and Napoli could lose 1-0. He'll be like, well, it's my fault because I didn't teach them. I didn't tell him to do this on this play. Like he'll take the blame for himself, which I love because there's some coaches we all know in the league that they can't take the blame. They just say, oh no, my team played like garbage and that's why we lost. But Tuchel takes it on itself, which I love, and I love that he's passionate and he tries to get the best out of these players. So hopefully this game was a huge wake up call and it puts Napoli back on the right track, and hopefully we can end the season on a good note, which if we can play like we can, I think we can, but we'll see. Only time will tell.
All right, well, time to wrap it up, boys. We had a good pod today. We all got like I said before, got our licks in. We all got to, especially Danny, got to pour his heart out after that disappointing result for Napoli. Like you said, they play Udinese this weekend, so we'll see the they can bounce back. Juve look like they're on track right now. Roma Inter, exciting match. Atalanta's been doing really well since that win against us. So yeah, we'll see where it goes. Go check us out on all of our social medias: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all at Six Side Calcio. And we're looking forward to speaking to you guys next week. And yeah, ciao ragazzi.
Have a good one,
Ciao.
guys.
Bye, guys.